one of the ways that people who don't like crypto can kind of escape the fiat system is, I mean, not really the fiat system, but at least their 9 to 5 and the rat race is investing, right? And I saw you publicly said you were investing about 10% of your net worth in Meta around October 2022, so near the bottom, basically, which obviously in hindsight is the bottom, but crazy high fear. Every time there is a market crash or we think, oh, maybe it's 2001 happening all over again, like the mega bubble, everything will go down 90%, it's the end of the world. So you did that. Today, the S&P 500 is about near all-time high, NASDAQ not too far.
Meta all-time high.
Meta all-time high. So your call was definitely the right one. And for me, the really interesting fear, important concept for people to understand, and crypto will come into that, but it's the concept of being a contrarian investor, which is the most important concept in investing, right? If you want to make money. Obviously, it's easier said than done. How can someone become a contrarian investor?
Develop your own investing thesis and understanding that investing isn't gambling. So when I bought Meta at $80, $90, $100, I averaged within that price range. I wanted those prices. I knew that it was a fair value for the company. So I said, okay, I'm willing to buy it at this price. It's not because I'm a genius, but I looked at the fact that Meta was at 2016 prices. They're not the company that they were in 2016. So why wouldn't I pick up a fuck ton of Meta stock? I'm looking at MSRT. I'm like, okay, MicroStrategy is absolutely going to skyrocket because this guy is going to buy. We're talking about Michael Saylor. He's all in on Bitcoin. And we know that Bitcoin's going to go to all-time highs. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. Yeah. So all you're basically buying is a leveraged play right there. And then you look at Carlos Salinas, who's one of the richest guys from Mexico. And he was asked, where's your liquidity right now?
He said that too.
He said MicroStrategy, and he said Bitcoin. So I said, who am I to oppose this guy's thoughts? That was my thesis for there. And now my next thesis, which is going to play true eventually, is PayPal. PayPal's at a 2017 price point. They generate $1 billion net every single year. One of every 4 e-commerce companies processes through PayPal, and it's still absolutely a behemoth, but it's at 2017, 2016 prices. So why wouldn't I pick it up? The risk reward ratio just happens to be so much higher. So, in 2023, I only made 11 investments. I only made 11 trades. I don't trade like a savage. I'm not out here on the charts every single day. I want to make few high sizable bets that have long-term plays attached to it. So I don't want to be day trading because everybody knows that day traders lose.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows this. And once again, we talk about the productivity, the lagging indicator. I'm willing to sit on a position 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 years for one very simple factor.
Swing trades.
Yeah, for one very simple factor. I don't need the money.
Yeah.
Right? So when you don't overspend and you don't operate out of a place of greed or operate out of a place of need, you can start making better value-based decisions. And once again, I could have picked any stock, but it was something that I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with Meta. Yeah. I'm familiar with Shopify. Why? Because I come from an e-commerce background. Yeah. So Q4 is rolling around. I know everybody's spending money on Facebook ads. So I know that Q1 reporting about Q4 is going to be absolutely phenomenal. They're going to crush their reports. And they did, because they did every single year prior. So why wouldn't they do it this year? And it happened. Shopify took off. PayPal took off. No, PayPal didn't take off. Shopify took off. Meta took off. Microsoft took off. I made a massive $4 million purchase of Microsoft stock the same day that Microsoft announced a $10 billion investment to OpenAI. I said, well, I can't invest in OpenAI, but $10 billion is a lot of fucking money. So they're not just paying for whatever it is that they're investing in. They're probably investing in infrastructure, teams, scalability, operations. So I was like, this is a very good proxy, right, for me to invest into OpenAI because they technically own it now. And once again, Microsoft passed Apple for a couple days as the most valued company in the world. Yeah. And that V reversal was absolutely savage.
And what's really interesting is it's not rocket science. And we talked about that the other day. I was with Alex Vanevic here for 2 hours, and we talked about it was more applied to crypto investing, but essentially being a good investor is you rely on a few pretty simple heuristics, which is, hey, we're back to the same price as a few years ago, but probably like they've been doing a lot of work, so they're probably much more advanced. So it's a good opportunity. And then, as you said, if you are experienced or an expert in a certain industry, you obviously, because you spend that much time, gonna have conviction. And once you have the simple heuristic coupled with your conviction, then it makes the whole thing much easier.
Yes.
And that's why for us, for both of us, Bitcoin and crypto is such a no-brainer, right? It's, hey, look, I mean, it was more like a year-ish ago, like, oh man, it went back below previous all-time high, or like even like, you know, the all-time high of 2017, we were below that.
Crazy.
You're like, what the fuck?
Or like a
This is
$900
amazing.
ETH.
Exactly. You're like, this is crazy. So it's just, yeah, it's basically that. It's some simple heuristics and the conviction. The conviction is the most important thing. And again,
And not just that, but it's understanding that, first of all, you're not always going to catch the bottom and you're not always going to sell the top. And I don't work or invest in order to pay for my bills, right? I invest to multiply my money. I have businesses, I'm making money in the real world that I get to deploy. So if my investment goes down 10%, 20%, 30%, I can stomach the drawdown. I can stomach certain losses just for the simple fact that I don't depend on trading in order to pay the bills. And if you're going to trade out of a place of desperation, you're always going to get fucked.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you said you're doing this sort of swing trade, right? 1, 2, 3 years. In the crypto context, probably is going to be like a year and a half, 2 years swing trade. And that's a really interesting one because you said, I think it was on a podcast I saw, you said, I bought crypto, I made my money, I sold, right? Which sounds so simplistic, but most people in crypto in their first cycle, they make shitload of money and then they round trip everything and they get wrecked, right?
Yeah.
And so you have this like very simplistic, almost cold, rational approach to crypto instead of following the traditional, you know, we're all going to make it, hodl, and then you get fucked. Can you tell us more about your approach, how you approach the crypto cycles to minimize the chances of round tripping all the money you made and get wrecked?
Well, I got round tripped in 2017, right? So I did
We'll get there.
I did 160 or 180x and I lost it all. And at the top, I was out here pulling loans. I went savage, right? And I did it the wrong way. And I was like, I'm not doing this again. But crypto is going to come back. So what do I have to do? I just have to have more money in order to deploy it. So I bought Ethereum during the COVID crash. It just made complete sense. I bought Bitcoin during the COVID crash. And then I started playing because I was involved in DeFi summer of 2019. I said, bro, DeFi is going to go crazy because I was part of the ETH ICO or the ICOs on the Ethereum chain in 2017, where basically you had the MetaMask and you would have to send ETH to an address and you would get their tokens in return. That was kind of how ICOs worked. So when, you know, smart contracts started rolling out, DeFi started rolling out, I'm like, whoa, I'm going to pay attention to this thing. And then obviously I just happened to be on in Clubhouse when CZ was talking about PancakeSwap and the Binance Smart Chain and how he wanted to compete with Ethereum. And then this motherfucker had beef with the founder of Uniswap. And I'm like, bro, when CZ's got beef with somebody, he's going to try and take them down. And what vehicle was the competition to Uniswap? PancakeSwap. So I just made a very big purchase of PancakeSwap, purchased 1% of the supply, and it worked well.
And so that's really interesting, the strategy, because a lot of people, they think I can put like $1,000 in crypto and make a 1,000x, or I'll put like 500 or $100 in like 50 different crypto and I'll become rich, right? But this never works. The strategy is more yours, and it was the same with me. You round trip once, then you're like, I need more cash, so I need to build a business or have a job to get this cash to then, once I have the right conviction and the right timing, luck is when preparation meets opportunity, right?
Yes.
I'm going to invest at that moment, and then like I'm going to wait 2 years and make shitload of money. But because I invested a good amount of money, right? It's probably a better solution rather than what most people think, which is, oh, I'm just going to make, become a millionaire overnight with like a random meme coin. I mean, obviously you can make a lot of money with meme coins, but like there is a few really huge success stories, but there is thousands that are not talked about, which is people who lost everything. Whereas like you can have a more rational approach, which is, hey, how do I have a business generating cash and I reinvest that? It's traditional investing applied to crypto, except it's kind of like on steroids, right?
Yes. And in my view, it's, the first bull run, you get kind of round tripped. The second one, you're following the calls on Twitter, but you're a little bit more clever. And then my third one, which is the one that we're coming into right now, I'm not even going to like looking at the charts, trading view, looking at CoinGecko. I'm not even doing that. Now I'm building. Right.
Absolutely.
So so you realize that the upper side and the leverage in reducing your risk is in being involved in the ecosystem. So I went from being a gambler to being somebody that was like, hey, like I can invest in this. I got some money. I'm doing well, to now being like, okay, but the infinite upside is to actually be involved in the ecosystem, be involved with the projects. And I think that that's like the natural progression of a crypto journey.
Absolutely.
And but here's the thing. The thing I love about crypto is that the upside is so good for the amount of effort and work that people put in, because
it's the highest leverage.
The leverage is
ever.
Unbelievable, dude. You could be a VA on a Discord server and be absolutely loving your job, making money, getting alpha, getting calls, getting integrated with communities, getting exposed to new projects. The upside is so great when the time is right. Now the time is right. I've been telling people, dude, get in the crypto space, start building, get involved, meet founders, understand the future trends. So a couple of the future trends are the enhancement of the Ethereum virtual machine. So basically building layer ones on top of Ethereum, because now Ethereum's kind of monolithic. It's kind of like your settlement layer. So you have like Monad and different projects that are in that ecosystem. They're absolutely going to skyrocket. I see Monad going to like $30 to $50 billion valuation. It's going to be absolutely nutty prediction, but that'll happen.
What do you think about the project?
It's top tier.
Why?
The founders, bro, they understand what people want in crypto. People want high frequency trading with no fees, with low fees. So they created an ecosystem where they can bundle all of that and then deploy it to your settlement layer. And now instead of having everybody pay fucking $100 worth of ETH in order to have a transaction go through, now you create an experience that is actually nice. That's why Solana has become so popular.
Absolutely.
It's because it allows high frequency trading. And one of the founders of Solana was very specific. He said, we built this product specifically for people that want to trade, $5 on a specific trade, or $2 or $10. You can't do that on Ethereum. That's why Binance Smart Chain became popular, but Binance Smart Chain is centralized. Now Binance has like this government oversight. So that's kind of dwindling. The BUSD is no longer a thing. So now you have Solana taking over. Solana is absolutely crushing, not only because of Solana, but because they've done really good at building products around it, like the Phantom Wallet, which is the best wallet that exists right now. You have Jupiter Exchange, which is kind of like your ability to trade in the best DeFi format possible. So now you see a lot of people that are making crypto relevant to what people actually want. The reason Robinhood was dope was because you could hop in there on your phone and in 10 minutes buy a stock.
Absolutely. User experience, which in crypto is so bad. But
it's getting better.
It's getting better.
It's getting super good.
On Solana. You said you had dinner with the founder of Jupiter, right? What do you think of the exchange? Do you think it's going to take over Uniswap? Do you think it's just for other kind of people?
Yeah. Jupiter Exchange is going to absolutely demolish. I was talking with him about his future plans, and I can't go into it, but the vision is beyond just your traditional, hey, I'm going to be out here buying and selling shit coins. The dude wants to introduce foreign exchange remittance. He wants to basically put all tokenized assets on and inside through the Jupiter Exchange. NFTs, DEX. It's going to be a behemoth. Uniswap will not be able to compete. No chance.
There's another project we have to talk about.
Tell me.
You wrote, the ecom kids came into crypto and took over Web3 in 1 year. Stop fading the penguins. Obviously I had Luca on the podcast. I also had James Wu, who is one of the key investors during the bear market in the equity of Pudgy Penguin. We had Alex, who is an advisor, Alex Vanevic, the founder of CEO of Nansen, who is an advisor, mega Pudgy Penguin fan. I'm a big fan. You also said there is no second best. There is no second best. And when you meet the dude, like it's so obvious, right? And also, because most projects are shit, right? There's nothing behind it. So if there's one who is like, hey, let's build something, let's create actual revenue that is not crypto geek related, but it's real world related, it's going to make a massive difference. You and Luca share similar backgrounds also, kind of a difficult childhood, drop shipping, ecom, crypto, and you live in the same place, Miami.
I live in Puerto Rico. He told me he told me to go to Miami, but he was one of the first guys to move to Miami before it was cool. I just decided to go a little bit more south for tax purposes.
Why are you so bullish on Pudgy Penguins?
I mean, I'm an equity shareholder in Pudgy. It was not an investment in the project. It was me betting on Luca. So Luca used to run a lot of e-commerce for a lot of top tier influencers out in LA. And he was, making multiple six figures every single day. And I was able to meet a couple of the influencers that he was interacting with, talk about their e-commerce, and eventually connected with Luca. We had in 2019, we had the DeFi summer. And then I remember in 2020, we were sitting in the Ritz-Carlton and we didn't know anything about Uniswap, right? So we were out here figuring out DeFi, shit coins, and we've been in the crypto journey since the beginning. It was February of 2021, I believe. My dates kind of get confused at this point. It's been so long. When PancakeSwap first hit $20. That's when I got. Is it my tattoo on this side or is it on the other side? Okay, yeah. So I got the PancakeSwap tattoo. Yeah, those motherfuckers, they blessed me. But we had gotten a house. We'd rented a house in Miami after the Ritz-Carlton. We bought our first NFTs there. And then we created a group chat called Crypto Island with guys from the Cayman Islands and just ballers in crypto. And we started talking about NFTs and shit like that before it kind of became hot. And Luca posted this photo of a Pudgy Penguin. And he said one thing. He posted it. This is when it just launched. It was 0.1 ETH. He posted and he said, the Asian community is going to love this. And that was the thesis for him buying it. At that point, the entire crypto NFT bull run took place. Things went up, things went down. And then I get a message one day. I'm in Croatia. I get a message one day and I'm like, and it's Luca. He says, let's buy Pudgy. And I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, I just put out a tweet, 750 ETH. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. I messaged Cole as well through one of my accounts. And long story short, thankfully, through one of the Capital Club members who helped us broker the deal, we got the deal. And Luca just spearheaded the project. So I gave him some cash.
So you bought Pudgy Penguin with him?
Yeah. I think I put in $500,000 out of the 2.5. And because there wasn't a lot of liquidity providers, and we went to a lot of founders of the top projects, and they didn't give a rat's ass about Luca. They didn't bet on this guy. But Luca has a background of taking IP that is undervalued and absolutely blowing it up. So tossed a little bit of coin there, said, Luca, take it. And he absolutely demolished it. But had the project gone to what I believe it's going to go to, it's a multi-billion-dollar company, or if it would have gone to zero, it didn't really make a difference to me. My bet was with Luca Nets, and I'll continue betting on him as an individual because, like you said, it's not the IP that matters necessarily. It's not just the NFTs. It's not even the community alone. It's the people that are carrying it, right? It's the individuals that are running the project. And when you have somebody that, once again, understands sales and understands marketing and distribution, which are the two keys, you win.
He said the exact same during the podcast. So before, when you said that, you know, if you can have the best project, if you don't understand distribution, marketing, and sales, it's not gonna. He said the exact same, right? It was the absolute most important.
In the
and no
background
one
is
understands
e-com.
that in crypto, basically. It's like
because
no one,
because like I said, you can have a great product, but if nobody sees it, it doesn't really make a difference.
yeah.
So the e-com kid came in and just absolutely took over, and it just made absolute sense.
Where do you think Pudgy is going?
100 ETH.
100 ETH.
Yeah, it's
This
good.
cycle.
The cycle. I mean, it's you can no longer value it as an NFT company.
Absolutely agree.
It'll compete with the likes of Hello Kitty. It'll compete with the likes of Mickey Mouse. It'll compete with the likes of the highest IPs in the world.
And you have the premium of crypto on the top, which is like all the speculation part. If you're like, because there's a bull run, there's NFT bull run. So we benefit in the good times from the actual premium, crypto premium, which is pretty amazing. Is there another crypto project or community that you're super bullish on? That's out there today, right? Not something like super private or
yeah. I mean, that's out there today. My four bets are very straightforward: Pudgy Penguins, Monad, and Jupiter Exchange. To me, those three are just absolute leading fire horses. They're just going to trail the path for what it means to build high quality decentralized finance projects, what it's going to be to rebuild on top of Ethereum a good user experience for Monad, and then Pudgy Penguins, like I talked about my predictions for 2024. Pudgy Penguins will not only flip Bored Ape Yacht Club, it'll make the acquisition of Artifact Studios look like a peanut when it's all said and done.
So in crypto, we have these crazy booms and busts, right? And when everything busts. Like 2022 was really bad. And so even for me, I was a big Luna holder. I had like 7 million that turned into $5 in 2 days. And so when something like that happens, and I have some friends, like one who had 250 mil turned into like probably $500. When things like that happen, I mean, obviously you feel fucking stupid and you start to wonder like, hey, like, was it all just luck? All my businesses, all my investing, all that. So you need to kind of feel the pain, right?